Hello, team. Today we are going to talk about discipline. And some people might be thinking, what does discipline have to do with impact? And the reality is that to be able to have powerful impact in the world, in your sphere, it's crucial and essential to have some form or practice of self-discipline in your life. If you look out into the world and you see high performers, people who are high achieving, who have, tremendous impact in their own sphere, who make life meaningful, they have some practice of self-discipline. So I want to break that down a little bit today. And unfortunately, discipline can be a pretty loaded word for a lot of people, one that has a lot of connotation, and often it's negative connotation. So let's break that down a little bit today and talk about what discipline is, and also explore this question of, do I lack discipline? I mean, so many people ask me that. So many coaching clients, so many people, they're worried and in shame around this idea of having the right kind of discipline in their lives, being disciplined enough as a person. So let's dive into that. It's funny because when I think back, the idea of discipline for me, it's always been kind of alluring. I loved the idea of being regimented and consistent when I was younger. As a kid, I was also obsessed with sports. So I very much resonated with this idea of an athlete mindset. It just worked for me. I played basketball as a kid. I did all the AAA teams and club teams, played for school since I was in third grade all the way through high school. And I was remembering the other day, they had the girls team practicing at 6 a.m. in the mornings when I was in middle school, 6th and 7th grade and 8th grade. I asked my mom about this recently. I was like, wait, did they really have us practicing as middle schoolers at 6 a.m.? She was like, oh yeah, that was the only availability for the girls' team. So I can't even believe that. I can't believe we did that. I can't believe my mom did that. You want to talk about discipline? It's moms. Moms have tremendous discipline. But I loved the idea of being pushed, of being challenged and following a schedule or a plan. And even when I didn't love it, I just sort of accepted it when I was younger as being part of something that you had to do in life. And now I definitely see how it could get out of balance. I was pretty hard on myself as a kid and as a younger person. So we can acknowledge that there's a balance here. And I think that's a big part of what happens for people when they think of this idea of discipline. It instigates these thought patterns of shame or guilt or not enoughness, not being good enough or worthy enough, like maybe you're falling short. There's this resistance that can come up for people when we're talking about this idea of discipline, even to the point where people feel it's some kind of a moral failing on their part. And that's not always helpful. It's just not very helpful when you're trying to change behavior and cultivate more self-discipline, become more disciplined as a person. So I want to reframe this idea of discipline because I do really think that it's essential for so many reasons. And I believe that it has a profound effect on our ability to have impact. I do. Our ability to have impact in the world, especially positive, intentional impact that helps us shape a really meaningful, joyful life for ourselves. The word discipline is defined as controlling behavior, a form of self-control or training expected to produce a specific character or pattern of behavior. It often includes having a system of rules or order that someone would follow. There was actually a different way that one of my coaches described the word discipline. He broke it up into two parts. He broke it up into disciple, one who follows, and plan. I don't even know if that's actually the root word for plan, but it very much resonates with me. One who follows a plan, discipline. To me, that definition, that new way of looking at it, it takes a lot of that loaded connotation out of the word and leaves you with the simple task of following a plan that you set, that you dictate. So back to this question, do I lack discipline? Do I need more discipline in my life? The basic answer could be yes. I mean, truly, you might need more discipline. Let's be honest. There are a lot of people out there who just don't try very hard. And that's true. You might have seasons in your life where you're feeling like, man, I'm just not really on it. I'm not putting in that much effort. I'm not exercising a lot of self-discipline. And that's okay. The answer could just straight up be yes. You are not following the plan. You are not sticking to the path, to the plan that you set for yourself. But there are a few other things that I want you to consider, 3 things in specific, when you're assessing this idea of your own self-discipline, whether it's perceived as lacking or something that you need more of. And the first thing is, do I lack discipline or do I lack energy? What can look like a lack of discipline can actually be a lack of energy, team. It could be physical energy, mental energy, like brain power, or emotional energy. We talk a lot about this concept with my clients in my other business, Optimize You. My business partner and I, Sarah, we talk about the 3 pillars of health. And you can't see me, but I'm putting my hands in like a shape of a triangle here. The 3 pillars of health are sleep, exercise, and movement, and nutrition. So those 3 pillars of health are like a stool. And if you are not investing in each one of those things, if one leg of the stool is not shored up or invested in, the stool will tip over, right? And then sometimes I kind of think of the seat of the stool as its own category, like stress management. If you are not planning to take care of your sleep, your nutrition, your exercise, if you are not managing stress, the stool falls apart and it won't hold you up. And the same is true for these pillars of health. You have to plan for energy. You have to plan to have the type of energy that will allow you to do the things that you want to do in your life. Sometimes it's not a discipline issue. Sometimes it's just straight up an energy issue. You're tired. You're freaking exhausted, man. And when you can observe that and take ownership of it, you can start to problem solve for it. This requires taking some responsibility for your pillars of health and for what might be influencing them and the ways that you're investing in them or not investing in them. If you're not sleeping, if you're not eating healthy, if you're not exercising, moving your body, and if you're not managing your stress, guess what? That stool tips over, it falls apart, and it's not going to hold you up. And it might not be a discipline issue at all. It's just straight up, you don't have the physical, mental, emotional energy to do the things you want to do. So that's the first one. Number 2, do I lack discipline or have I not taken ownership? So many times, it's not that we lack discipline, we just haven't taken full ownership of our plan. We have one foot in and one foot out, meaning we're still making excuses or blaming other circumstances for our ability or inability to do something. So if we take this example of scheduling time to exercise in the day, someone might say, well, I don't have any time. I have the kids, I have work, my schedule's crazy, my plate's really full. I just don't have time to exercise. And it begs the question, well, what in your schedule, what in your life do you need to own so that you can therefore take full ownership of your plan to exercise more? What do you need to change in your life? Is it the schedule around the kids? Is it responsibilities at work? Is it when you wake up? Is it when you go to sleep? There are so many layers to your ability to take ownership of your life. It has to start there. You have to claim this plan that you want to follow. Otherwise, how are you going to do it? This isn't a discipline issue. This is an ownership issue. The great thing is when you take full ownership of your plan and everything that affects the plan, you can start to find solution to the roadblocks that are in the way. When you own it, you can solve for it. And you're not dependent on anyone else solving it for you or changing things to allow for your self-discipline. You don't have to be reliant on other people influencing your plan. And that's a true, true gift. So that's number 2. And then finally, number 3, do I lack discipline or am I not willing to be uncomfortable? Let's be honest, team. We are all very used to being comfortable, to being in comfort, from temperature-controlled spaces to the ease and convenience of modern living. We really pretty much have everything amenity-wise at our fingertips. You can order most anything you need on your phone. And so intentionally choosing discomfort is a practice, and many of us are out of practice. Many of us don't often choose intentionally to get uncomfortable. And choosing to be uncomfortable can look a lot of different ways. It can be doing things that are hard physically, like my wife who's training for a bodybuilding competition, or our friend Stacy who trains harder than anyone I know and just started crushing triathlons now. It can be public speaking, having a hard conversation, taking a risk in your business. It can be launching a podcast. That's uncomfortable. Just doing the thing that scares you. But the practice of getting uncomfortable on purpose It builds what we call a tolerance to extremity. You can handle the extremes better. You have a higher tolerance for the extremes. And discipline can feel like that sometimes. It can feel extreme. It can feel challenging to do, especially on some days. So considering, is it that I lack discipline, or is it that I'm not willing to be uncomfortable in assessing how often do I actually push myself to get out of my comfort zone and do things that feel kind of hard? It's a great thing to assess. So when you're thinking about all of this and you go back to that question, do I lack discipline? Do I need to be more disciplined in my life so I can get closer to my goals and my desires, so I can have powerful impact, so I can be the best version of myself? The answer might be yes, but maybe it's one of these other things. Whatever one it might be, I always think it's important to get to the root of the issue, because when you know the root of an issue, you can start to take action to correct that root and have a much bigger impact in your life. So I hope this helps. I hope you have a great week. Thank you for being here. And as always, thank you for being ready to impact. Thanks for listening to Impact Ready. I hope today's episode inspired you to own your impact and recognize that you are powerful. By elevating our energy and awareness, we can create exponential change in this life. If you enjoyed today's insights, share them with a friend and subscribe to the show for more. I truly appreciate you. Thanks again for being here.